I used to chase protein like it was the answer to everything: fatigue, brain fog, weight, aging, but it never worked. Hello and welcome. I'm Carrie Bailey, your functional nutritionist who doesn't do fluff or quick fixes. If your body's been whispering, something's not right, and no one's listening because your labs are normal, you're not crazy, you're not lazy, and you're definitely not broken. You're just blocked. And that's something we can fix. I work with people who feel stuck in fatigue, brain fog, gut issues, and mystery symptoms, even though they're eating healthy and doing everything right. What I've learned is that your body is smarter than you think. Your symptoms are messages, and once you learn how to interpret them, you stop chasing solutions and start actually healing. This channel is where we break it all down: what's really going on, what your doctor might be missing, and how to support your body from the root up. And if you're ready to feel like yourself again, you're exactly where you need to be. And if you're doing all the right things and still not feeling right, you're in the right place. If you want a clear place to start, I created this free long COVID recovery guide that walks you through the first steps that I take with clients to start restoring energy, digestion, and clarity without chasing numbers or fads. You can grab it in the link below. I want to start with a confession. I was obsessed with protein. I swore I could never live without animal protein. I chased protein like it was a cure, but it nearly broke me. 9th grade, I was a skinny, tired, spaced out kid in class, and everyone told me the same thing: you need more protein. So I listened. I did everything right. I drank protein shakes. I carried tuna in my bag, and I lifted weights after school. I memorized grams and macros, and they were gospel, and yet nothing changed. I was eating more protein than ever and still waking up exhausted. My brain still felt foggy. My mood was all over the place. I was super grumpy. And I'll go to bed tired, I wake up tired, but I didn't stop. I figured I just hadn't cracked the code. So I kept trying new powders, new timing, new supplements, grass-fed this, isolate that. Even in college, I'd pack protein bars in my bag like they were medicine. And in my 20s, I tried paleo, never tried keto or carnivore, but I was a paleo girl because protein was always the safe thing to eat, right? I thought if I can just get the right kind and hit the right numbers, that I would feel better. But here's the thing, I never did. Sure, I had muscles, I looked healthy on paper, but deep down, I was tired, I was anxious, and my digestion was a mess. I remember one day sitting in my car after workout and just crying, not because of failure, but because I couldn't figure out why I felt so awful when I was doing everything right. I was eating the perfect diet, I was tracking, I was disciplined, and still, my body felt like it was screaming for help, and no one had answers. That was the beginning of me asking better questions. What if the problem wasn't the type of protein or the amount of protein or when I was eating it? What if the problem was something deeper than that? That single question changed everything. Because once I stopped blaming my food and started listening to what my body was actually trying to tell me, I stopped feeling crazy. I finally started healing. And that's when I realized the problem wasn't me, it was the strategy. So here's what I wish someone had told me back then. It's not about how much protein you eat. It's about whether your body can use it. Most people think that they hit their daily grams, they're good. But your body doesn't run on grams. It doesn't know math. It runs on function. And if your digestion isn't working, it doesn't matter how clean your protein is. Imagine dropping grass-fed steak or the best protein powder into the blender, but the blades are broken. That's your gut when your stomach acid is low and your bile is stagnant. Protein has to get broken down into amino acids to actually do anything useful. But if you can't digest it, it just sits there. And worse than that, it ferments and it feeds the wrong bacteria. It creates gas, bloat, inflammation, and waste. It's not fueling you, it's burdening you. And here's where it gets deeper. Your liver plays a huge role in protein metabolism. If it's sluggish, congested, or overwhelmed from toxins or stress, protein gets misrouted. Instead of building you up, it adds to the pile your body's already trying to clean up. So that's why I was seeing clients eating 80, 100, 120 grams of protein a day and still feeling exhausted, puffy, constipated, or wired but tired. Their terrain wasn't thriving, it's clogged. And that creates a frustrating loop. You're tired, so you eat more protein, but the more you eat, the more bogged down you get. Nobody realizes they're on the hamster wheel. And then your body starts compensating, pulling from your adrenals, cranking up your cortisol, pushing you through the day like a car running on fumes. Eventually, you're going to crash. And you start to wonder if your body's broken, if you're just meant to feel this way. But the truth is, you've been sold the wrong map. You've been taught to focus on the input, how much protein, what type, and what time. But healing comes from focusing on the output, what your body is actually doing with what you give it. And once you shift your focus to that, that's when things finally start to change. So let's pause and ask something no one ever does. What are you really trying to fix with protein? Is it fatigue, brain fog, weight that won't budge? Are you hoping to stabilize your blood sugar, ease inflammation, or slow down aging? These are real goals, and protein has a role. But if your body is blocked and overwhelmed or is inflamed, it won't matter how perfect your diet looks. I see it all the time. Clients come in eating 100 grams of protein a day, clean, grass-fed, dialed in, but they're still exhausted. They're still bloated, wired, and tired. They're doing the right thing, but they still feel wrong. And here's the part they were never told. The issue isn't what you're eating. It's what your body can actually do with what you're eating. So if your stomach acid is low, if your bile is thick, and if your liver is sluggish, then even the highest quality protein becomes a burden. So picture this. Your digestive system is like a highway. But when traffic is backed up, that's when there's inflammation, congestion, poor motility, and everything slows down. And protein doesn't get delivered. Nutrients don't get absorbed. And you feel like you're running on empty, even when technically you're well fed, you're doing all the right things. So what does your body actually want? It wants digestion that moves. It wants blood sugar that stays steady, energy that feels sustainable, and nourishment that doesn't leave you feeling heavy and foggy. Once you support your terrain, remove the blocks, restore the flow, your body starts using what you eat. You don't need caffeine to function. Your cravings stabilize. Your hunger feels smarter. And you naturally stop chasing protein, not because you're avoiding it, but because your body isn't screaming for rescue anymore. And when your system works, food works. And you finally feel the shift from surviving to healing. Let's be honest, our obsession with protein didn't come out of nowhere. It was taught, repeated, reinforced. Protein builds muscle. You'll waste away without enough. Older people need more. You can't heal if you don't have enough. We've heard it from gym culture, wellness influencers, magazines, and even doctors. Eat your protein, track your grams, hit your macros. It became the gold standard, the thing that you could always fall back on when something felt off. And when your body started to whisper that something wasn't right in the form of fatigue, weight gain, brain fog, and the most common advice was eat more protein. So you did. You swapped your carbs for eggs, you added collagen, you chose meat over fruit, and you felt proud of yourself. You were doing it right. But no one asked the most important question. Can your body actually use what you're giving it? That's the missing piece. You're trained to think food is about discipline, not digestion. And that success is about effort, not alignment. So when you feel worse, despite eating better, you blame yourself. I've seen this cycle play out hundreds of times with many clients. And what I've learned is this protein obsession isn't just about biology, it's about fear. Fear of losing muscle, fear of aging, fear of being judged for not trying hard enough. And under that, a deep desire to feel strong, safe, and in control again. But the truth is, obsession isn't the path to healing. Obsession is a response to a system that isn't working. And more isn't always better when your system is always overwhelmed. So if you've been chasing protein and still feel stuck, it doesn't mean you failed. It means your body is asking for something different, a new strategy, a new lens, a new level of trust. Because healing doesn't start with force. It starts with listening. I want to be clear. I am not anti-protein. I am not anti-meat. I love a good grass-fed ribeye steak, and I believe in nutrient density. Protein has its place, and here's what I've seen again and again in my clients. The more we step back from the pressure, the more their bodies finally exhale, because obsession burns out the system, but nourishment rebuilds it. We remove the noise, foods that inflame, routines that exhaust, and numbers that stress them out. And we give their bodies space to recalibrate. And that's when everything changes. They stop waking up exhausted, their digestion turns back on, and their anxiety quiets. And they feel like themselves again, not because they pushed harder, but because they stopped pushing at all. So what do we do instead? So if chasing protein doesn't work, what does? I'm sure that's what you're asking. So in my practice, we don't start with grams, we start with function. And the first thing we do is we remove the interference, the things that are clogging the system and confusing the signals. For most people, that means taking out the big disruptors. Those are eggs, dairy, gluten, canola oil, and caffeine. These foods are sneaky. Some of them are labeled healthy or clean, but for a sluggish liver or an inflamed gut, they're constant triggers. And I've had clients pull out just 2 of these and finally sleep through the night. And that's how much stress they're putting on the system. And that's when we restore the foundations. Not fancy protocols, not stacks of supplements, just basic rhythmic support. So lemon water in the morning, that primes your digestion. Celery juice to restore your liver and your bile flow and your digestive enzymes. And adrenal snacks, fruits plus mineral-rich foods every few hours to stabilize your blood sugar. Simple, but powerful. Once that rhythm is in place, we build the second layer, targeted support. These are the tools that actually nourish your system and that have been starving for function. B12 in the right form to rebuild nerves and energy pathways. Choline to restore your liver flow and brain clarity. Magnesium and glycine to calm your nervous system. Zinc and other trace minerals to revive your cellular communication. We're not throwing random supplements at the wall. We're matching the right tool to the right function based on what your body's actually asking for. My clients don't just get better, they get clear. They finally understand what's been happening inside their body for years, and they learn how to support it without obsession. It's not about being perfect. It's about rebuilding a partnership with your body, one that actually works. So let me show you what this looks like in real life. So one of my clients, let's call him Mark, came to me eating protein at every meal. And he was lifting weights 5 times a week. He drank shakes religiously, and on paper, he looked like the ideal picture of health. He felt terrible, couldn't focus, he was crashing every afternoon, and he's waking up at 3 a.m. wired and anxious. And he told me, I'm doing everything right, but I feel like I'm falling apart. We didn't actually touch his protein intake right away. Instead, we removed the eggs, the dairy, and supported his liver and gave his nervous system a break. We rebuilt his blood sugar rhythm, we added adrenal snacks, and simplified his supplement stack. And within about 3 weeks, his sleep had improved. By 2 months, he was clear-headed and no longer relying on coffee to push through. And the best part, he didn't have to fight his body anymore. Then there was Sarah. Sarah was eating about 120 grams of protein a day, not because she wanted to, but because she was terrified of eating less. She'd heard that if she didn't keep her protein high, she'd gain weight, lose muscle, or wreck her hormones. She was bloated, constipated, and exhausted. But more than that, she was afraid. And with her, we started gently. We took the pressure off her plate, literally and emotionally. We focused on liver support, calming her gut, teaching her how to stabilize her blood sugar without relying on meat at every meal. And over time, her cravings changed, her anxiety dropped, and her digestion softened. And eventually, she wanted less protein because her body didn't need to scream for it anymore. And her energy came back. Her skin cleared, her brain turned on again. And she told me, I finally feel like I'm not fighting my food. These stories aren't rare. They're just not being told. Most people don't need another macro chart. They need a new strategy. One that listens to their body instead of overriding it. One that works with the terrain so the body can finally do what it was built to do, to heal. If you've been chasing protein and still feel like crap, it's not because you're broken. It's because you've been given the wrong target. You've been taught to treat food like a formula, grams, macros, rules, charts. And when that formula doesn't work, you blame yourself. But your body doesn't know math. It knows nutrients. But it's not your fault. You were told that more discipline would equal better results, and that more protein would give you more energy, that if you found the right combination, your body would finally cooperate. But what if your body has been trying to cooperate the whole time? What if it's not failing you, but it's speaking to you? And what if those symptoms of fatigue, bloat, brain fog, cravings are actually signs that your system is overloaded and undernourished because you're not getting the nutrients into the cells? Here's the truth. Your body isn't missing more protein. It's missing clarity. And when digestion flows, your blood sugar stabilizes, your liver clears, and foods you eat start working. And the supplements you take can start absorbing, and your body starts healing. Not because you pushed harder, but because you finally gave it what it really needed. The right goal isn't to eat more protein. It's to build a system that knows what to do with the protein you're already eating. Because when your terrain is supported, your energy rises, your cravings calm down, your brain wakes up, and food stops being a fight. You don't need to earn your health. You just need to stop blocking it. So if you're watching this and feeling like, that's me, please hear this. You're not lazy, you're not crazy, you're not doing it wrong. You're just starting from the wrong place. And now you know where to begin. So if this video resonated with you, don't try to piece it together alone. You don't need more confusion. You need a clear path. That's why I created Phenotique, for exactly that. It's where I put all of my full method into one easy to follow app. No more piecing together random advice or bouncing between protocols. Phenotique walks you through what to remove, what to add, how to build your energy, digestion, and focus step by step. You'll know exactly how to calm your nervous system, support your liver and gut, and balance your blood sugar without obsessing over it. It's not about chasing protein, supplements, or trends. It's about finally understanding how to work with your body, not against it. And because healing isn't a one-size-fits-all, the app adjusts to you. It meets you where you are, whether you're dealing with fatigue, long COVID, brain fog, or just that feeling of being off. This is where you start finding your rhythm again. You'll get daily steps, real explanations without the fluff, and tools that actually work in real life. And the best part? You don't have to do it alone. If you're watching this, we're still in early access, but you can hop on the wait list using the link below. And if enrollment's open, you can dive in today and start feeling better for real. Either way, your body's already asking for change. And Phenotique is a place to start giving it the support it deserves. You could check out all the details in the description below. If you found this information helpful, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and drop a comment. Tell me what hit home the most, because the more we share this kind of message, the more people get permission to stop chasing and start healing. Your body knows how to survive. It just needs the right support. And I'm here to help you find it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now. Watch this video next where I break down how the protein obsession keeps you stuck in fatigue.